Welcome to this session. In the past few months, many of us have been carrying a lot of uncertainty, grief, and overwhelming emotions. And this is exactly why I want to offer this practice today, because this is a practice that can help us reconnect to another dimension of ourselves. A dimension that, regardless of how we are feeling emotionally or what is going on around us, it can stay whole and at peace. This part of us is traditionally called the higher self, though you may have heard of it with different names in different cultures, such as the higher consciousness, the inner guide, soul. Sufis call it ruh. Here, names don't matter so much as the concept of the higher self. And this is a universal concept because if you look at the core of the spiritual teachings of the world, you will notice that they all talk about the concept of the higher self and that the human being is not merely the body, the mind, the emotions, and is not defined by the experiences that a human being may have here on earth. And it is often referred to as the main purpose on the spiritual path, meaning that to drop the false sense of self and to realize that we are the higher self is referred to as the main goal on the spiritual path. Though the concept of the higher self can also sound a little bit too abstract or vague sometimes. You can think of the higher self as that part of you that is drawn to hope, to light, and to your highest values. Here we can use an analogy. If the sky is the higher self, you can think of the thoughts and emotions as the weather. So weather can change any minute or every day, but the sky remains spacious and unchanged by it. And just like the sky that can contain any kind of weather and stay untouched by it, the higher self can contain all our experiences, our thoughts, emotions, and the bodily sensations or experiences and stay untouched by them all. Though the problem is we don't identify with the higher self. We usually identify with the body, with experiences that we have, with our thoughts and emotions, with the mind. And in fact, the more intense that the experience is, the more we tend to identify with it. Psychologically speaking, this is important for us because when we take a pause and become aware that we are not the experiences, we are not the emotions, we are not the thoughts that we are having, when we take that pause, we create a distance between that false sense of self and the identifications and our authentic self, the higher self. And within that pause or within that distance, we can start to look at our life and our experiences from the point of view of the higher self. And this can totally expand our horizon and change our outlook on everything, really. The higher self does not have the limitations of the body or our psychological limitations. The higher self is the real source of power and wisdom within us. And this realization can help us to find a refuge inside our own soul And this is so precious because nobody can take that away from us. We can always go back to that source within us and find peace, guidance, and support within our own being. This is not to dismiss our feelings or what we are going through, but it's to help us to understand that we are beyond and above them. We are beyond and above our experiences or what we are feeling and thinking. We can work with our feelings and emotions and acknowledge them, but at the same time, we can become aware that we are beyond them. I love this quote from Carolyn Mace where she says, "No matter what is done to you on earth, and no matter what you're going through, your soul has what it takes to rise above it and to rise through it." And this is exactly why we are doing this kind of practices. Because through meditation, through contemplative practices, we can build that muscle to connect to the higher self, to enhance our relationship to our authentic self. That being said, we're going to do this contemplative practice. There are many techniques that they've been given to us since the ancient times to develop that connection to our higher self, to the authentic self. And today's practice, it's going to be a very gentle and simple contemplative practice. And as the saying goes, the soul starts to whisper or to communicate with us when there is silence. And that is why we want to start to calm the body and calm the emotions and the thoughts so that we can hear the whispers of the soul. So please feel free to find a comfortable space at your home and start to relax your body. We're going to close our eyes and try to find a comfortable position to sit, because you don't want to be aware of your body constantly throughout the practice. And start taking a few deep breaths. Try to make your breaths slower and deeper. Now become aware of your head area and your face. Try to relax your entire face, your head, your shoulders, your neck, your arms and hands. Become aware of your back and the midsection of your body. Try to relax all the muscles, your legs, your knees, your feet. Few more deep breaths. Now silently say, "My body is relaxed and at peace." I am not the body. Now become aware of your emotions. How are you feeling? See if you can let go of your emotions and imagine them like small balloons leaving your entire system and making you feel really at peace and relaxed. Now silently say emotionally, I am calm and at peace, but I am not the emotions. Now become aware of your thoughts. What thoughts do you have at this very moment? Try to imagine they're all evaporating into the air, one by one, and your mind is becoming more clear and clear. Now gently say, my mind is clear and I am at peace, but I am not the mind. Silently repeat after me, my body, my emotions, my mind are all calm and harmonious, but I am not the body or the mind or the emotions. I am the higher self. The higher self is eternal. It stays untouched, unshakable. It is not defined by the experiences that I have or the experiences that I don't have. I am the higher self, needless and always complete. Enjoy the silence and the peace that the higher self provides. I am not defined by what I have or what I don't have. I am the higher self. always at peace, a pure, loving consciousness. I am not the body or the mind or the emotions. I am the observer of the experiences that I have, and the thoughts and the emotions and the body. I am the higher self, using the body and the thoughts and the emotions as the vehicles to live on this earth. But I am not limited by them. And that is the true, authentic me. Allow yourself to enjoy the silence, the love, and the peace that is provided by the energy of your higher self. If you have any particular question, or if there's any area of in your life where you need guidance, I encourage you to ask for guidance from your higher self at this moment. Ask for an answer, and the answer may come to you in one way or another. You may receive the answer in the upcoming days or weeks or months. You can continue to enjoy being in this silence for a few more minutes, and you can feel free to open your eyes whenever you feel ready. I hope that you enjoyed doing this practice with me here today, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon.